There's one thing I always tell my own God, I always say this: if you're going to give me a wealth that will destroy me, then don't give. So this means that you can have everything and you die empty.
Apart from the basic root of the good work is mainly to serve people.
Exactly.
If your purpose, and I'll say this to you, if your purpose has been serving you alone, to give you your own joy alone, is not complete.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ruth. If you're subscribed, thank you so much. And if you're yet to subscribe, if this is the first time you've seen this beautiful face, make sure you subscribe and make sure you turn on your notification buttons. And today, I am talented, gifted. In fact, they are everything. I respect them so much. I'll let them to introduce themselves. Please, what's your name?
My name is Shalom.
Okay.
My name is Dayo.
Yes. I don't even know how to call her name, just
Shalom.
Shalom. So, Shalom and
Dayo.
Dayo.
you know what else?
It's just Dayo.
Minister pastor.
Dayo.
Actually, he's a medical doctor.
Of course he is.
Yes,
Glory to God.
he's a medical doctor. So everything all joy. So they're ready for you guys. So today we're going to be talking on the topic purpose. Like, what is purpose? What do you think purpose is? When you feel like people just say purpose. Me personally, I don't even know how to describe. So I like to throw the question to you guys.
Purpose is, it's very, very simple. It's the reason why something is created. It's the reason why something is made. And if we are going to find our purpose, then that puts us in two categories. One is that we are creators. We are created rather, and there is a creator.
Exactly.
And so it's very simple that the creator must also be able to tell us exactly why it was created us or why we are created. So purpose is simply the reason for creating something. For instance, the phone or the camera that is used in recording would be the purpose, would be serving its purpose by doing exactly what it's supposed to do.
Exactly.
So for instance, using a phone to make call or a camera to take
Shoot
pictures,
videos,
shoot videos, exactly. And that's the purpose for which it's created. So purpose is simple. It's just the reason why you create something.
Course.
It's very simple. Keep it simple.
Yeah, he actually said it all. It's actually the reason, like, when you make something, when you manufacture something, it serves its reason,
So from what you guys said, that means purpose should bring about fulfillment.
Exactly.
Because if you're created for something and you're not doing what you're being created for, it's like being useless.
Exactly.
So it should bring about fulfillment.
Yes.
Because with a phone, if you buy a phone and the phone, they tell you that this phone it can shoot any shooting, it can snap you picture that give me boost. And you bought the phone and the phone cannot even do boost.
If you are ready,
Like, why did I spend so much money on this phone? Like, you touch the phone, even the phone, if the phone can speak up, trust me, I believe the phone will be like, I'm not happy with the fact that I can't fulfill the thing that you bought, the reason why you bought me.
Exactly.
So that means you're trying to say purpose brings about fulfillment.
Yes.
Right?
It should bring about fulfillment, because in all cases, most people, just like one of the reasons why we're discussing this, hoping that our subscribers and those who watch us will be able to learn, and probably eventually discover their purpose. But also, most people don't discover their purpose, and most don't fulfill it. So there is most people don't, even though they have everything they need, the satisfaction is not there.
Exactly.
And until the satisfaction is there, before you can really call it fulfillment of purpose. So based on what you said. So not everyone is fulfilled. It's clear. Not everyone is fulfilled, but they should.
Okay, I want to give you this question because he said, like, even when you have everything, you don't feel good, you don't feel fulfilled. That means it's possible that you can be fulfilled and not have everything you want.
Of course.
I'm not talking of needs. There's a difference between needs
Exactly.
and wants. We need to
True.
state that.
Clarify that.
Exactly. So that means you are trying to say oh, it's possible for you to be fulfilled, but you don't have
You
everything
don't have
want.
everything.
Like,
Seriously. Of course. There is one thing I've always told God. Well, if you don't believe in God, I'm sorry, forgive me.
get in line.
You know.
Get into.
Forgive me for relating anything to God, but sorry, I do. There is one thing I always tell my own God, I always say this: if you're going to give me a wealth that will destroy me, then don't give. Just it's better you give me something that will be enough for me, comfortable for me. I always say this every now and then. So this means that you can have everything and you die empty, you see. And that is why it is very, very important in life as a human. As young people, we are very ambitious, we are looking for this, we are looking for that, trying to meet up with life, trying to meet up with the chaos of demands from people, society, and all that. And sometimes this can shift our attention from the real deal, from the real content. So it's very important that we understand that having it all doesn't necessarily mean that you're fulfilled.
Yes.
You see, I've heard great stories of men who actually, very satisfying, life inspiring stories of people who didn't really have it all. They didn't even get to up to having it all.
Yes.
But they died as heroes. They died fulfilled. The fulfillment we are talking about is that when you are closing your eyes, dying, when it's just only between you, God, and Satan. There is God and Satan, forgive me. That's the devil. You feel when you're leaving this world at your dying bed or wherever, even if it's car accident or anything, there is this assurance that you've given it all.
Yes.
That is actually the purpose that we are talking about here. I don't know, maybe some people mix purpose to be career, like, okay, to go and play football and be the world best football, to be the world best surgeon, to be this, to be the lawyer. Actually, I don't want to mix this. So a lot of people try to mix these things up, because I was making some research and I found out online that some people are saying read, do this, do that.
Actually,
that's fulfillment of purpose.
That will lead me to my next question. Because I went somewhere and they actually invited me to speak on purpose. While talking, all of a sudden the whole topic ended up turning to money.
Exactly.
It ended up turning to money, and it made me feel like, wait, are we here to talk about money, or we're here to talk about purpose? Because that's how I noticed that people don't actually get it, that you being rich is different from
you fulfilled.
being fulfilled, or you living in your purpose, or something like that. Because it was confusing. They were like, if money does not do this thing, so what is the point of what are you purpose?
So
that will lead me. The reason why I said okay, that will lead me to my next question, and you continue from where you stop. Is that if is there a difference between career and purpose? Like, can you have a career and also, because you're a doctor, does that mean that is actually your purpose? Or can you actually be living your purpose in your career?
Exactly.
I think because as a doctor, you can actually be living your purpose.
Through your career.
Exactly.
Yes. So I want you guys to.
Yeah, career and purpose are quite different things. But like you said, you can actually be fulfilling purpose in your career. You remember you said that purpose is the reason why a product is made. Like serving the use of the reason why you are made. So now, for example, the people in the medical field, some are passionate to be neurosurgeons, some are passionate to be cardiology. I don't know how, some are passionate to be whatever it is that they have a driving force. They feel that they want to help in this area. Now that is a career. How to attach purpose in that career is if you look beyond the name, the money, and the glory that comes from that career. If you look beyond that and you want to really serve people because you feel that this is your calling in this area to help human life, you feel that this is your you have that driving force, that thing in you that want to like bring solution where there is no solution. Not necessarily for the gain, but for, we are created here to like bring solution. Whatever we are enjoying today, somebody brought solution, to it. Fine, maybe at the long run it start giving money and all that, but that is not the primary reason why some things were made, and that is exactly what we should always have in mind. I know we're in a crazy world today where everything relates to money, like whatever you are doing, if it doesn't attach with money, if you're not going to make something out of it financially, then you are joking. Like I was discussing with someone I'm living with at home, and he said, forget about it. When you are young, you still talk about your passion, your purpose, your this. By the time you are 50 like me, you start knowing the reality of life, especially when I said, yes, I understand. I really, really understand, because, sometimes when it's not that you don't have purpose, it's not that you don't have passion, but it's just that circumstances has made you to go after what you are not, go after like the container instead of the content. What I'm trying to say in essence is that it is possible for you to still fulfill your career, get the money. I'm not against getting money, I need money as well, live very comfortably and happy in life and still fulfill purpose, you see. But do not make the material things. That is why most people die into why having it all, like we just discussed. It's possible, but you need to know your calling. Exactly what am I doing and why I'm doing this. So that is it.
Okay. So back to Minister D.
Yes, ma'am.
Does career translate to purpose? And why asking that, answering the question, also related to talent and purpose?
Oh, all right. Actually, I would like to relate a little story, something that happened, about some 3,000, 4,000 years, or let's say about 5,000 years, before now. There's a guy called Moses, all right, in the Bible. He was born, in fact, was raised as a prince of Egypt. And for 40 years, he was raised as the prince of Egypt with all the perks, all the enjoyment. He had everything.
Imagine then.
Not now. He had everything he needed. He had everything he needed. In fact, he was built to be probably the next prime minister of Egypt or something like that. I don't know. But somehow, at the age of 40, he had to leave for one or two reasons. And it's amazing that up until that time, it was having the best time of his life, that's clear. But he wasn't living his purpose.
Exactly.
Because in fact, one of the reasons was that he wasn't fully joyful, he wasn't fully satisfied until he had to go get some training from outside of the nation and then return at the age of 80 before he started fulfilling his purpose. And honestly, it wasn't as if it wasn't paid, or in fact, according to
it
wasn't rosy, so to say. But the truth was, at the end of his life, about the age of 120, he was able to fulfill his purpose, spending just 1/3 of his life fulfilling his purpose. And still to today now, in fact, we are relating the story right now after about 5,000 years. And that means, just like she said, probably on his dying bed, closing his eyes, okay, yes, I achieved it. So back to for me to answer the questions, I'll try to use that to answer the questions so it'll be easier for us. Does career translate to purpose? It's a yes and no question. Because for sometimes career would translate to purpose in the sense that while in the career you could find purpose inside,
exactly,
be fulfilled, be joyful with what you do. For instance, now there are those who teach and they enjoy teaching, and teaching is their career. Okay, a very good example is one of the men who really dealt with this idea of purpose, Miles Moreau. He's an educator, or was an educator, had degree in education. He enjoyed teaching. In fact, you could tell when he's teaching, he's so comfortable, smiling, and that was his career, and that was also his purpose, right? While in some other cases, there are those who have careers and have purpose, outside of it.
Exactly.
That purpose may not necessarily be what the entire world knows them for, but it could be something that they enjoy. For instance, a very good example, I know many people don't know that Bill Winston, who was the former president of the United States, enjoyed painting. Wow. That's one of the things he enjoys most. The point is, it doesn't necessarily translate to purpose. Career doesn't necessarily translate to purpose, but it doesn't mean that it cannot be. So it depends.
Okay, So thank you guys so much. And I would like to ask this question. Do you think we all have the same purpose but different ways of fulfilling it? Because me personally, I just personally feel like we have one purpose and that is God's purpose.
Exactly.
And I feel like there are different ways of fulfilling it. So that's why I asked the question. So I want to know if you guys agree with me or
Yes.
disagree.
I agree. It is true that it's almost like we have the same purpose. It's just like a tree. It has one root, but the branches go in different directions. So we essentially have one purpose, and that's okay. Let me relate using the Bible. Okay, of course you pardon me because that's my favorite book. First Corinthians 2, when from verse 8 to 9 to 10. Okay, let me use Ephesians 2, verse 10. Say something. Ephesians 2:10. It says that we are created in Christ to do good works. And if you remember at the start of this, we said that purpose is the reason for which something is created.
Great.
And so we are created in Christ. It says we are created to do good works. So essentially, one basic place to begin is that we are all created to do some good work. Put it that way. And especially for those of us who have believed that Jesus died, was buried and raised, it is to share that same truth to people, essentially. Now, while we use whatever means we can, or wherever place we find ourselves, for those who are teachers, they teach the word. For those who are probably doctors, they share it why they are doing it, whatever way. 1 Peter 4 verse 10 was telling us something. 1 Peter 4 verse 10, he said that we should use the gift we have to serve others. So, one of the things that I would probably say is that we have this common purpose, and essentially to do good work. Now, how we do that good work, or what satisfaction we get from whichever part of that good work we want to do, now depends on we finding by ourselves, because using the Spirit as the Spirit of God. So 1 Corinthians 2, that was going to from verse 8 to 9 to 10, it was saying something, said that there is the wisdom of God. It's an hidden secret of God from the foundation of the world. And the secret is why he created us, and he loaded that secret in his Spirit for us to find out. So why we find it out, for some they find it out to be even to simple as to pray for others. For some it's simply as welfare for others, taking care of others. For some it's simply to but essentially, apart from the basic root of the good work, is mainly to serve people.
Exactly.
If your purpose, and I'll say this to you, if your purpose has been serving you alone, to give you your own joy alone, is not complete. It's not
Check
that
it out.
Yeah, it's not complete. It's not complete. It has to be it must have a way of serving others. Okay, for instance, now as medical doctors, you are essentially you're not serving yourself, you're serving others mainly. I mean, most of the time, that's why you find out that doctors sometimes break down, and they don't break down because of themselves. They break down because of serving others. In fact, some of the highest paid doctors don't enjoy the money. They have actually no time to enjoy the money. For instance, take pastors, for example, who teach the word or preach the word. They essentially do not even live for themselves. You've got a pastor who call in the middle of the night, has to answer you and all that. So, but that's one thing I would like to say. And if let me just take maybe a few more time to just quickly say this. If you're finding your purpose, one of the key things you must ask yourself is, whatever it is you are doing that is bringing you joy, is this serving others? Because the one who created you, the God who created you, is primarily a servant, is a chief servant, he serves others. Jesus said in Matthew 20, verse 28, Matthew 20:28, he said, the Son of God, he said, has come not to be ministered to, but to minister, or not to be served, but to serve others.
Exactly.
So if your purpose is not serving others yet, you need to check it. It's probably just career to you.
Exactly.
But it becomes purpose when you're essentially serving others, and you derive joy from doing not say, okay, I'm serving others so that God will be happy. No. You derive joy from doing that.
Yes, so do you have anything to say?
Oh, he actually said it all. It's all about serving others. How to understand your purpose.
Yes, ma'am.
Trust me, at the end of the day, everything goes to exactly what he's saying, serving others. But how do you actually, get to the point of even serving others? The question first is, these are questions relating to purpose, like trying to find out who you are. So the first question is like trying to find out who you are. The question who you are is very funny because, we're in a world today where everybody, identity crisis, everybody, trying to relate with, from this place and from that place. And when you gave your first cry, that cry is like, what am I doing here? Why am I out? Like who you are. Everybody live their daily life trying to find out who they are. Even from the country where I'm coming from, people always use it as, to identify, do you know who I am? So everybody's always trying to say who they are.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, who are you really? Who are you? Who are you? And the second one is, what am I? Like, what am I doing here on earth? To exactly what he's saying, to go to the university, to get a good job, please my parents, get married to the girl I love, have kids, have family. Is that exactly like, yes, all these things are part of the journey. If you're here, you have to meet up to all these things, but is that exactly what you're here to do? Because this is the question for purpose. And then the main question for purpose now comes after you must have understood why you are here. Then the third question is, what am I called to do? Like, okay, I'm here now. Like, if you understand these three questions, like, what am I called to do? Where am I going? Understanding why you are here is fulfilling your purpose. Thank you very much.
To say thank you very much. Anyways, my last question was, they already answered dates. My last question was supposed to be to your younger self or to anybody out there trying in search of purpose. What would you reply to them? But I believe it said serving others is one way. Exactly. If you're serving others, you find fulfillment in it. And in a way, she also related it to the fact that when you serve others, you're actually serving God, because you're being good, you're doing good to the society and the community. And they also said, like, you should go back to your creator who created you. Because when you know the reason why you're created,
yes,
and for you to know the reason why you are created, you have to ask the person that created you, and you will be able to find purpose and you'll be able to function and be useful to all of us. Please be useful. You're supposed to be sending me. I'm very sure some of you are supposed to send dollars to my mom just because you've not started serving your purpose. I'm not receiving a lot. This is not fair. It doesn't matter. It's a circle. If you serve me, I go serve you. But you don't have to wait for someone to serve you first.
Exactly.
To get served.
This is not your matter.
It's not like that. But when you serve, you understand. So please start serving your purpose, because some people's purpose actually depend on your purpose, whether you believe it or not.
True.
Because
Exactly.
when you help someone else can also help someone, and that's how we make the world a better. We all shout to make the world a better place.
Exactly.
You, what are you doing? Sleeping and waking up and eating like me.
It's purpose.
So yeah, that should be the last question. And thank you guys so much for coming. I really enjoyed the topic. And if you guys have any question, make sure you comment below, and one way or the other, they will answer. Not me. You will see their hand. They'll be the ones.
We can do it.
They'll be the ones to, please, if you really have questions in your heart and in your mind and you want people to guide you, comment down below. If I can't answer the question, trust me, I trust their opinion, and they will surely try and help you. And I'll link, she has a page, she has a YouTube channel also. I'll link it down below. And he also has the page, he has an Instagram page. They both have Instagram handle. So I'm going to link it down below so you can ask them, bombard them. They are there for you. Their serving purpose is to answer your question so that your life will be better. So yeah, thank you so much again for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.